why you're running and what skill sets you bring, and then I will ask you 3 questions.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for all being here tonight and braving the hurricane to be here. So the reason I'm running is that I want to change the script on the culture. I call it the culture of controversy at EPISD. It seems that there's not a month that goes by that EPISD is in the news and very little of it is actually positive. And I think we can do better than that. I think our kids deserve better than that. I think our educators deserve better than that. And I think it's time to change the page on that. Just a couple of days ago, I was knocking on a door, and a rather gruff gentleman answered the door, and I gave him my spiel, and he asked me, he said, "Are you on the board right now?" And I said, "No." And he said, "You got my vote," and then he slammed the door in my face. So I think a lot of people are rightly frustrated about the way things are going at EPISD, and I'm running to change that.
Thank you. The first question is this. We all know about official policy stances versus the nod and wink that superintendents and or trustees give about contentious policy issues, policy versus practice. You have all been asked at previous sessions about charter schools and transformation zones. Do you support them or not, and why? We need to know where you stand, but we want to go a little bit beyond the yes/no to ask about EPISD's District of Innovation designation. The designation undermines protections around which people have worked over decades, such as the larger student-teacher ratios, non-certified teachers, lower pay, etc. Do you support renewal of this designation? Why or why not? So it's a 2-part question, the charter schools and the designation, District of Innovation. You have 3 minutes to respond.
Thanks, Dr. Stout. So as far as the charter school question, this always comes up in the forums. A lot of people are really worried about charter schools. I said this in earlier forums, but charter schools is kind of a broad term. So, you know, there's some forms of charter, and charter was actually the idea of a charter was actually created by the labor unions. But as far as KIP or IDEA coming into El Paso, which seems to be the lightning rod issue, I wouldn't send my kids there. I wouldn't recommend that any of my family or friends send their kids there. I'm not in favor of it. Unfortunately, they're here. They're competing with EPISD for the tax dollars. And I think we need to do a better job of selling EPISD to the parents of the district so that parents won't want to send their kids to charter schools. And it's not just the charter schools that we're competing against, it's the other independent school districts. Isleta Independent School District rebuilt their schools, they gave their teachers raises. They made it a really attractive place to want to send their kids, so they're kind of wanting to attract a lot of students that would otherwise go to EPISD and trying to get them to Isleta. So we need to do a better job of selling ourselves. There's reasons why parents don't want to send their kids to EPISD, and part of it's the controversy, the culture of controversy that we see over and over and over again in EPISD. We need to change. As far as the District of Innovation, I understand that that's a program that's renewed annually. I'm going to take a good hard look at that when that comes up for renewal, and I don't know for sure whether I'm going to vote in favor of that or not. I need more information. I'm kind of a data person. I like to see the data. I like to see the research. I learned that when I was getting my master's degree at UTEP in political science, so I need more information. Sorry, just tell like that. Anyway, I need more information, but I can tell you this. If I'm elected to the school board, I'm not going to be a placeholder for the superintendent. I feel that for far too long, many of the trustees of EPISD act like employees of the superintendent rather than a governing body for the superintendent. So I'm going to hold the superintendent accountable instead of the other way around.
Thank you. The second question is this. EPISD faces financial problems due to declining enrollment, charter school inroads, and reckless decisions around salaries. $1,500 a day for consultants, superintendents earning a salary nearly equivalent to the U.S. president, etc. School closures face wrath from parents who are sometimes treated like enemies rather than consulted. For example, Bell Elementary School. The state may impose a 2.5% cap on increases in budgets with tax ratification elections. How do you propose to deal with EPISD's financial problems? You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. So I want to address a couple of different things here. I've talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of voters in the district. And one of the things that they tell me over and over and over again is that the district is bloated. The salaries are too high, there's too many administrators at central office, the superintendent's making out like a bandit. And it wouldn't be such an issue if there wasn't a huge lack of trust between EPISD and the district. People are angry. And rightfully so. Again, it's the culture of controversy that we see over and over and over again in the media with EPISD. So one of the things that, another thing that we're dealing with at the district is the complete lack of morale with the teachers and the support staff at EPISD. And they're disheartened. And I understand why. A year or two ago, the superintendent asked for a rather large raise to his already considerable salary. And the teachers didn't see an increase at all. So, you know, it comes down to the leadership of the district. If there's pain, if there's sacrifice that needs to be made, it needs to be shared. It needs to be shared among the teachers, the support staff, the employees, as well as the administration. Okay? So there's a declining enrollment. So the second half of that question is about the declining enrollment. Again, let's get back to the fundamentals. Why don't parents want to send their kids to EPISD? That's why we're declining, you know, in our revenue. Part of which is demographic. You know, people aren't having nearly as many kids as they used to. I'll just say that I'm doing my part. My wife and I have 4 kids. 2 of which are in the district, and 2 probably will be in the district soon enough. So it's demographic, but it's also a matter of parents not wanting to send their kids to EPISD. That's why the charter schools are here. That's why the other ISDs in the area are picking up kids from our district. We need to turn that around. Once we turn that around, I think the revenue problem will be much better. As far as the school closings, there needs to be more public input. Another thing that I hear over and over again in the hundreds of doors that I'm knocking on is that nobody at EPISD is listening. There might be schools that need to be closed. We need to look at all the options. But if that's going to be the case, the public needs to have trust that the board is going to do what's right. And they're going to listen to the input from the community before they make the decision to do what's right, not make the decision in a, you know, proverbial backroom type deal. So if I'm lucky enough to be elected this position, I'm going to listen. I have 2 years and 1 mouth for a reason. I'm gonna listen. I want to know what you guys have to say about it, and what I'm confident that we can come to the right decision together.
Thank you. The last question is a tough one. Over more than a decade, EPISD exhibited dishonesty and corruption, stemming in part from lack of trustee oversight and leading to gubernatorial political appointees in charge of the board. This has been a source of shame and embarrassment for our community. In recent months, and in current news today, there have been allegations about residents' issues outside the district, past work experience, and evidence for that, and so on. My next question is about integrity. Among keywords for our elected representatives, we want trustworthy, ethical, and accessible people making decisions on our behalf. What claims and behaviors do you bring to this candidacy that could become sources of embarrassment, shame, or pride in the future? Tell us now before the media finds out.
Okay. Well, you want to know what skeletons are in my closet? Here they are. So, Westside Democrats, I'm going to do something that normally people wouldn't expect, but typically I vote in Republican primaries. So I didn't want anybody to be bamboozled by that. You know, I want to be above board and I want to be straightforward. That's the only thing I can think of, aside from the facts. And not always, I have voted in Democratic primaries as well. So I try to always vote for the person that I think is the right person, regardless of the D or the R behind the name. So I hope that's what you all decide to do as well. As far as the culture of corruption, I moved to El Paso in 2010. I came down here to attend UTEP, and my wife is from a small town in Mexico, not too far from here, and we wanted to be closer to her family. One of the first things I remember when I turned on the evening news when I first moved here is seeing Superintendent Garcia in a world of trouble. So the premise of the question about past history of corruption at EPISD is absolutely correct. And I remember thinking, what kind of town is this that this is happening at the school districts? So we can't go back to that. We cannot go back to that. As Dr. Stott said, it's a source of embarrassment. It's a source of shame for our community. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. But it seems like if you're following the situation, it seems like we're backsliding back to the dark days of EPISD. We can't go back to that. We can't go back to that. And it comes down to the people that you elect to your board of trustees. If you want to continue down the path that we're headed down, that's fine. I'm probably not your candidate. If you feel like everything is going well at EPISD and we're on the right track, I'm probably not your guy. If you think that we need to change the script, if you think we need to turn the page on the systemic culture of controversy at EPISD, I'm asking for your vote. I need your vote. I need your support.
Thank you. You have 1 minute to sum up things for yourself if you wish to use that.
Okay. I have 2 kids in the district, in 3rd grade and 1st grade, and I think all the time about the fact that they spend more time at school than they do at home with me and their mom. That's a sobering thought for any parent that's ever had kids in school. We've got to get this right. We've got to do right by the kids of El Paso. We've got to do right by the professionals that educate our kids, that spend more time with our kids than their parents do. We have to get this right. I'm asking for your vote on May 4th. We can change this. We can right this ship. It's time to turn the page. I'm asking for your support on May 4th. Thank you.